Let's talk about Georgia Tech. It's one of the most respected public universities in the entire country, a total powerhouse in engineering and tech. But when you start digging into the official rankings, things get a little weird. Something just doesn't add up. So today, we're going to figure out what's really going on behind the numbers.
Okay, so this is the big question, right? This is the whole puzzle we're trying to solve. Everyone agrees Georgia Tech is an elite school, but then you look at some of its rankings in U.S. News & World Report, and you're just left scratching your head. So what is the real story behind these stats?
And here it is, side by side. Look at this. On one hand, you have the reputation, a top 10 public university, a giant in STEM. And on the other hand, you've got these rankings that just seem impossible. Social mobility at number 327? How can a school be an undisputed leader but rank so low in a key area like that? We're going to break down exactly why these numbers are so misleading.
First things first, let's just get our bearings. What is Georgia Tech? Well, it's a top-tier public research university, and it's planted right in the middle of Atlanta, Georgia. And that urban setting, it's a huge part of its identity and opens up a ton of opportunities for students.
So, what makes a university elite in the first place? A lot of times, it starts with who they accept. And believe me, getting into Georgia Tech is a major challenge. The admissions process is no joke, and the competition is absolutely fierce.
Just to give you an idea, let's start with the sheer number of people who want to go here. For the fall 2024 class, almost 60,000 high school students from all over the world applied for a spot. That is an enormous, incredibly talented pool of applicants.
So you take those 60,000 applicants, and only 14% actually got in. An acceptance rate of just 14%. That number right there puts Georgia Tech in the same league as some of the most exclusive and selective universities in the world.
And what about the students who actually enroll? Well, this is what's really incredible. The average high school GPA is a 4.14. Let that sink in. And check out these test scores. The middle chunk of students are scoring between a 1370 and 1530 on the SAT. So what this tells you, loud and clear, is that Georgia Tech students are absolute academic superstars.
All right, now for the question that's on every family's mind. What's this going to cost? The sticker price can definitely look a little scary, but like we're about to see, that number is almost never what families actually end up paying.
Okay, here are the estimated costs for a year. And yeah, you can see a pretty huge difference based on where you live. If you're a Georgia resident, you're looking at around $25,000 a year. But if you're coming from out of state, that number jumps to about $48,000. Now, those are big numbers for sure, but they are not the whole story. And if you're looking for help navigating these costs, well, we've got you covered. If you want personalized help saving $40,000 or more on college costs, check the link in the description to learn about our College Savings Mentor program.
And right away, we can see how Georgia Tech starts to bring that cost down. You have amazing programs like the Tech Promise, which is designed to make sure that super talented students from low-income families can graduate completely debt-free. For a lot of families in Georgia, this is an absolute game changer.
And it's not just that one program. If you're a first-year student who qualifies for need-based aid, the average aid package is over $18,000. That takes a huge chunk out of that sticker price we just saw, and it puts a truly world-class education within reach for so many more students.
So, you're in, you figured out the finances. What is it actually like to be a student at Georgia Tech? Let's take a quick look at the academics and what campus life is all about.
Yeah, no big surprises here, right? Georgia Tech is a STEM juggernaut. A whopping 44% of undergrads are studying engineering, and another 28% are in computer science. You put those together, and that's almost 3/4 of the entire student body, all focused on these incredibly high-demand fields.
Okay, now we're starting to solve our puzzle. Remember that really low faculty resources score? This right here helps explain it. Georgia Tech is a big public research university, so a lot of the intro-level classes are pretty large. More than 1/4 of their classes have over 50 students. Now, the ranking formulas see that and penalize them for it, even though it's a totally normal, efficient way to teach core subjects at a big school. But hey, it is not all about the academics. In a lot of ways, it's a very traditional college experience. Almost every single first year lives right there on campus, which builds a really strong community. There's a big Greek life scene, hundreds of student clubs, and, the entire city of Atlanta is basically your backyard.
All right, this is the main event. We've seen the paradox. We've seen some of the reasons why. Now, let's really pull back the curtain on these U.S. News rankings and see exactly why they paint such a strange picture of a school like Georgia Tech.
Let's talk about money.
The U.S. News ranking for financial resources basically just rewards schools for spending more money per student. The problem is, it doesn't adjust for the local cost of living. So a school in a super expensive city like Boston or San Francisco gets bonus points just for its high costs. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech, which operates really efficiently in the more affordable city of Atlanta, actually gets penalized. They're basically being punished for being smart with their money. It's wild.
And now for the most glaring contradiction of them all: social mobility. This slide just says everything. Georgia Tech has an unbelievable 86% six-year graduation rate for its Pell Grant students. These are students from lower-income families. That result is truly elite, and yet U.S. News ranks them at number 327. How is that even possible?
Well, here's the fatal flaw. The U.S. News formula gives more weight to schools that simply enroll a higher percentage of Pell students, and it doesn't really care about how well those students actually do. So a school could have a way lower graduation rate for these students, but still outrank Georgia Tech just by enrolling more of them. The formula is rewarding the input, not the successful outcome. They're measuring the wrong thing.
So if the rankings are this flawed, what should we actually be looking at? Let's focus on the things that really matter. The metrics that define the true value of a degree and can help you decide if Georgia Tech is the right fit.
This number right here is a much better sign of a school's quality than any weirdly calculated ranking. A 94% six-year graduation rate for all its students is just phenomenal. It means that when you enroll at Georgia Tech, the school is deeply committed to making sure you succeed and cross that finish line.
And what happens after you graduate? Well, that's the ultimate return on your investment. A degree from Georgia Tech, especially in its key fields like engineering and computer science, opens doors to amazing, high-paying careers. Employers know the quality of a Georgia Tech grad. That's a reputation built on real-world results, not a flawed list.
You know, when it comes down to it, the story of Georgia Tech's weird rankings isn't just about one school. It's a really important lesson in looking past the headlines. It shows us that rankings can be like a funhouse mirror, reflecting a broken formula more than actual quality. So the real question for you and your family is, what matters more? A number on a list or the proven real-world success of a university's graduates? Before you go, check the description for a link to our College Savings Mentor program, where we help families save $40,000 or more on college costs. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to visit our YouTube page for more explainers to help you on your college journey.